Hello everyone, welcome back to another video here on Channel Shardmore. Be sure to comment, like, subscribe to Channel Shardmore. Remember to keep the comment, it's not offensive. If you're not subscribed to Channel Shardmore, please hit that bell notification to get notification when the channel receives uploads. And I'm offering my thoughts on this Lindsey Clancy case and my personal opinions. Alright, Lindsey Clancy heard kill the children and then kill yourself. Alright, she murdered her 3 children. One of them was not even a year old yet. Alright, and what happened was after she murdered her 3 children all at once with exercise bands, then she jumped out the window paralyzing herself. Now, that clearly just said that Lindsey Clancy did not know what she was doing. To be murdering her 3 children and then kill herself, I would say definitely right there. I would say she was not thinking clearly. And I don't have a master's degree in college in psychiatry, so, yeah, so, I don't know what was actually literally going on in her head, but, no, I have enough experience to know that when something's wrong with people's head, they need to get professional help, and they need, they need some serious help. Yeah. So, what is it from here? Alright? What is it? What will Lindsey Clancy's fate be? Okay, that is, that's just one of the questions that you obviously want to ask yourself. And it's going to be a difficult court case because you have Lindsey Clancy, who is so mentally unstable. How are you going to be able to fit all the pieces of the puzzle together to figure out whether if she's guilty of murder or not guilty? It's first-degree murder. Let's not forget that. Alright. You see, I don't know. I just don't even know. I just don't know what was going on inside Lindsey Clancy's head to be murdering her children like that. I don't know. I just don't know what to say. I don't even know what really gone on in her head. But yeah, she's been apparently she's been begging for help, people to help her, and she did not, apparently I think this has been, like, ignored for quite some time, so I would have to say that, I would have to say, you know, I would have to say that, at this point, I just don't know what it is. I don't know what goes inside of Lindsey Clancy's head. I don't know what is wrong with the woman. She's mentally unstable, but what with? Alright, there's multiple medications that she has been taking. Alright, that's the one thing that you want to know what these medications do. How does that make the person or the individual that takes that medication and what it does to that individual? That is the one thing that you would want to actually figure out. See, if the medication made her do all these things, you think that maybe it wasn't her that wanted to commit the murder. Maybe it was the medication that she was taking made her do all these things. It made her act in a way that she wouldn't normally act. Alright. That is just like quite the big question you want to be asking yourself there. So, the jury and Lindsey Clancy's defense. Alright, they've got a difficult court trial ahead of them. And yeah, this is like the first time I've ever heard of somebody who was so mentally unstable and can't even think straight show up for court because of murdering her 3 children in first degree. And it was with exercise bands. Alright. And I'll just be honest with you, I have no idea, like, what's gonna go down here, there. Alright. Considering I'm not the one that studies the human brain, so I'm not gonna know exactly what you're going to be dealing with. If I've actually had something to say, I would say she would need like a real big talk with Dr. Phil, because Dr. Phil probably is your best bet when you're looking for somebody who's got a master's degree in psychology. Because you gotta remember too, Lindsey Clancy is so mentally unstable too. And Dr. Phil would probably be able to figure out exactly what the problem would be. And that would just, I would say, you know, I would say, um, it's kind of like, it's a very, very tricky puzzle. Indeed. Yeah. It's going to be very hard to crack this case. Alright. It's pretty obvious. You want to know just about a lot of stuff. And everything there is to know about this case. Alright. Now, being that Lindsey Clancy is so mentally unstable, well, that would mean there would be a lot of talks with psychiatrists. During the jury trials. Alright, that's the best that I can actually say that, because, when you're dealing with people that got like these mentally unstable problems, it can make trials very, very tricky to determine on whether the individual is guilty or not guilty. Alright, yeah, that's just, it is a lot of information that you want to get out. But the people who are in that court want to know exactly how did the whole thing go down. Why did Lindsey Clancy murder her 3 kids all at once? Alright. And you're right. You're right here. It all has to do with mentally unstable health problems. But oh yeah, you also want to cover the what the medication she was taking too, and how did that make her act. Okay. Alright. It was the medication. Probably some certain medication that she was taking that was making her act the way she did. There's probably one medication that probably made her murder her children and then want to paralyze herself. And to get this, I don't know if, well, the thought of Lindsey Clancy being suicidal made me think, is there some sort of medication that would actually make a person suicidal? That would make people get, like, suicidal thoughts of inflicting self-harm to yourself. Because, well, I think I think the TV commercial actually, I think they actually say that. I think they actually say that. So, yeah, I would, be very, very careful. They do say talk to your doctor and see if it's right for you. Alright, so, I, 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 I don't know. I don't know. I think some people probably, if I had anything to say about this, I would say, you know, you know, I would just think, you know, um, you gotta, you need to, well, you really need some real good idea on what you're actually dealing with. So I don't even know how the whole thing is gonna go down. So, that's that. I don't know, I don't know what it's gonna be like going downhill from here, but, we'll just have to see what actually happens. This whole thing is just, like, gonna be a tricky puzzle that everybody is going to want to fit the pieces of that puzzle together. When you're dealing with a super mentally unstable individual who is showing up for court for murdering her 3 children and then jumping out the window, and she's mentally unstable, that's tricky to figure out on whether, if you were to determine whether Lindsey Clancy is guilty for the murder of her 3 children, or was it not her fault? But you'd actually have to see what actually happens, how it goes down. Like I said, this court case should last at least 7 weeks, maybe less or more. And then, after that time, I mean, I should say probably by September, mid-September, I'd say we'd have a clear picture on how the whole thing went down. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. If you like what I said here, please comment, like, and subscribe to the channel to more. Again, please remember to keep the comments decent, non-offensive, and, well, I guess we'll find out more answers as time goes on, as why did Lindsey Clancy commit the first-degree murder? Why did she do it? And what was going on with her head during the time of that murder? Alright, and what medication made her do what she did? Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I will see you on the next video, and hopefully, and eventually, we'll have more answers as time goes on. Have a good day. I will see you on the next video.